What's up, everybody? Hope you guys had a great weekend. It is Monday, April 21st, 2025. So, today, well, first of all, let's just talk about. Hope you guys had a great weekend. For those who celebrate, happy belated Easter. I didn't see you yesterday, not unless you was on my show yesterday on TikTok, where we talked about, Easter and listen to old school music. But today, waking up, a lot of us recognize again the what continues. Um, Going to look into, well, first of all, the economy after stocks closed. The Dow Jones was down 971.82 or something like that points. Under it's like 38,000. It ended 38,170. Uh, that's a 2.5% loss for those of you who have 401ks and looking at that, you lost something today and you're continually losing. Since Donald Trump got into office, we have lost 9% from the dollar. The American dollar dropped like 1% today, but since he's got into office, since mid January, we've lost 9%. Now, you can understand now that Donald Trump went crazy uh, in a tweet or a truth, whatever they call it, truth post. We're gonna read that truth post so you can see kind of like what this dude is going through. I think he's like, of course he must be crazy, but the idea that this man would rant this much as a president, okay? It's not like it's you know, um, just a regular guy on the street, but he rants like somebody who's on the street tripping off Sherm or something. Hey Lan, hey Vera, how y'all doing? So let's go ahead and look at what he had to say. Excuse me. Donald Trump, I'm gonna read this, said preemptive cuts, excuse me, in interest rates are being called for by many. Whenever Donald Trump says many, it is nobody but him and other people who are in his little circle. Because nobody talks to that fool. Y'all know it. So don't even act like it. I'm getting tired of the many. Everybody should call that crap out. Every time he says it, many, take it out. There aren't many because this man doesn't talk to many people. He talks to his little bubble. And his little bubble are batshit crazy. So, with energy costs way down, food prices, including Biden's egg disaster, he wants to blame the egg disaster on Biden. The eggs are based on the diseases that the eggs had, the chickens had, and were dying by the millions. That had nothing to do with Biden as much as it does with Trump. But that ended up dealing with the cost. Now, the pricing is all about these people gouging the hell out of us. And Donald Trump is a corporate person and therefore does nothing about the gouge at all. He wants to blame it on somebody else. This man has never took credit for anything. You know who I blame? His mom and dad. Because if his mom and dad was anything like our mom and dad, they should have beat his ass when he was a kid instead of kiss his ass and tell him, "Oh, you're a good kid. You're a good kid." No, they should have beat him to a pulp. Maybe he would have been able to take some damn responsibility for his actions. But instead, no, he walks around here acting like he can do anything he wants, lie anytime he wants, and nobody holds him responsible, just like his parents. And then when he was a kid, they should have beat his ass. Maybe he would have been able to grow up to be something other than a bully and somebody productive at somebody trying to run a country that's always trying to put everybody else through hell because he wakes up living in the hell he calls his brain. But he says the eggs are food prices, and he's talking about eggs are substantially lower. God, I don't know about y'all, but is everything lower for you? When Donald Trump mentions what's lower, I would love for you guys, don't listen to me, don't listen to him. Go look at what he's talking about when he says things are lower. You will find many times if you just look up, are egg prices lower? And you will find, why, yes, they did go down. They're a little bit lower. They're like $5 or whatever, blah, 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 right? Then dig a little deeper. 9 times out of 10, they're not giving you the prices in the store. They're talking about how much these people have to buy it for before they sell it to us. So therefore, the prices for them went down. They don't always pass that difference to us. They don't always lower the prices because it costs them less, because once the chicken stopped dying to some degree and then the production started to pick back up, right? The prices went down for the people buying it, the distributors and so forth that are buying it from the farms. Now, if they pass that low amount of money they have to pay for it on to the consumer, I get it, but they're not. This is where Vice President Kamala Harris was talking about she's going to have to go after people for price gouging. That makes a lot of sense, right? But Donald Trump and his people want you to believe that egg prices are down. Go to your store and see if your egg prices are actually down. Mine weren't. I just went recently. They weren't down. But I'm in Cali. You guys go look for it for yourself. Maybe it has dropped a little bit. But for how long, we'll never know, because Donald Trump keeps playing with the economy. Tariffs and all. Anyway, he said in most other things trending down, that is virtually no inflation. Now, we're going to break some of these things down because Donald Trump is a nitwit. And I don't want to, not attack these things as they come. The claim that he just said, I had to go look up the facts. With energy costs way down, food prices are substantially lower, this is virtually no inflation. This right here, I went and did a fact check, false. While inflation has cooled compared to its 2022 peak, it still exists. But it isn't anywhere near zero, which Donald Trump is saying, no inflation. Virtually, this word he uses to try and tell you, oh, it's not that much, it's virtually. As of March 2025, that's last month, the Consumer Price Index showed inflation rising at about 3.5% year over year. That's above the Fed's 2% target. So we're 1.5% over what we wanted to have inflation to be rising. Some categories like eggs, gas, and used cars have seen price drops, but others like insurance, housing, and services continue to climb. Inflation is not zero or virtually, virtually no inflation. It's not that. That's a lie, a complete lie. And I just wanted you guys to know as we read this, how much this dude embellishes crap. Not even embellishes, just flat out lies. Flat out lies. And he had said, with these costs trending so nicely downward, just what I predicted what would do, there can almost be no inflation, but there can be a slowing of the economy unless now he's about to blame somebody else for it. Now, reality check, with these costs trending nicely downward, there can almost be no inflation. Another claim, this right here, this is misunderstanding of how inflation even works. Inflation measures the rate of price change, not whether prices are high or low. Even if prices fall in a few areas, it often continues to rise faster. Inflation persists. Also, the Fed doesn't make decisions based on gas prices alone. They focus on core inflation, excluding volatile food and energy, to assess the underlying trend. What Donald Trump says is something that oversimplifies inflation, implying that it's a simple sum of food and gas. It's not. It's way more difficult than that. But we can understand, coming from a brain like his, he has to dumb it down. That's Donald Trump's superpower. He is a dipshit that rose to power, and therefore he speaks dipshit fluently. Dumbass people listen to him, and he sounds smart to them. They just don't realize that they're dumb as a brick to even listen to it or even check it out. It's just insane. All right. Then he goes on from there and says, like he says, we blame the federal chair, Jerome Powell. Said slowing of the economy, unless Mr. Too Late, a major loser. Mind you, this is our president. This sounds like a fourth grader. Any grown person should know this sounds like a fourth grader. A bad one at that. Lowers interest rates. Now, Europe has already lowered 7 times. Powell has always been too late, except when it came to the election period, where he lowered in order to help sleepy Joe Biden, later Kamala, get elected. How did that work out? So now he's bragging about him winning, and he brought the. This doesn't even make sense. He's saying he brought the prices down lower when Sleepy Joe was in there, and he also whatever when Kamala got elected. How did it work out? He won, so we shouldn't lower it, because if we lower it, then somebody else wins. You want it now, just like they did. So who loses then? He's basically saying they rose it and we lost out, but he's asking them to rise it again. So it makes no sense. It's counterproductive. It makes no sense whatsoever. He defeated his own statement. We shouldn't increase them because of the fact that it didn't work out for Joe, Sleepy Joe, he says, or Kamala. It's going to work out for him. Just weird. All right. Excuse me, I clear my throat. Here's a third claim that he made in here. There can be slowing of the economy unless Fed chair increase the rates. Now, this is a mixed truth, okay? I don't know why I got this thing in my throat here. Okay, anyway, mixed truth. The Fed raises interest rates to cool inflation and lowers them to stimulate growth. Trump is not wrong that high rates can slow the economy, but that's also the point when inflation is above target. Right now, the economy is still growing. Unemployment is low and wage growth is stable. So the Fed is cautious about cutting too soon. Cutting too early can reignite inflation, which the Fed is trying to avoid. This is a dance between, we're in capitalism. This is our jam, capitalism. So when you want to reignite the economy and you got greedy ass people out there that don't have regulations, it can mess up the economy and put us into stagflation, which when people think of stagflation, they think of the 70s because we had it really bad. You know, there were things were going up in price, and a lot of jobs were being lost, so people couldn't afford them. So the world was kind of in a whirlwind of people losing their jobs, prices going up, people not being able to afford housing and stuff like that. Poverty increased. It's a dance with the economy that you really have to, think through. Not have a person like Donald Trump wake up in the morning and be like, I think we should raise interest rates. So what's your reasoning? We know why you would do it, but tell me why in the economy right now you would do it. See, Donald Trump is trying to infuse this economy because he fucked it up. We got people selling our bonds, which is going to decrease the value of our dollar, which now our stocks are falling too. So when all that falls, our country is going to shit because of it. Now, is it going there tomorrow? No, but you can see a trend of it happening too consistently. Every week we're having this. Like I said, since Donald Trump took office, our dollar has decreased by 9%. This is not normal. Now, the dollar goes up and down all the time, but we have not decreased to like 9% in a long, 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 long time. So, what we need to do is what Jerome Powell is doing. And what we also need to do is tell Donald Trump to shut the fuck up. He knows nothing about the economy whatsoever. This is a man that has failed businesses. He's not a businessman. He is a person who sells himself. But the businesses that he runs fail. Every business this man has started has ended up either going to court for cheating people and having to pay $25 million in his school for not educating the people like he said he was going to do, to buying things from 501c3s that are supposed to be for the actual program at hand, whatever he's helping. Instead, buying photographs and videos of himself or whatever it is, paintings, putting on the walls. What kind of businessman is that? He's got his name on a lot of businesses. He runs none of them. There's a difference of learning how to market your name, which your dad gave you. You think Donald Trump would have been able to do manage the Trump name without Pops being the Trump name to begin with? After his dad died, the Trump name is trash. It's still holding on to his dad, not Donald Trump. Ask yourself what he's done. Ask yourself what he's done. Absolutely nothing. What has he been successful with since his dad died? Nothing. What is he running? Nothing. His businesses, how can you run businesses when he had The Apprentice? The people who worked for The Apprentice literally said, they walked into his office and it stank. They wanted to use his office for the boardroom and it had old furniture in it. It looked like a step back into 70s. This is the man you thought was running businesses. He is a good marketer for himself. He puts gold around him because the gold is worth something. As long as he stands next to it, he doesn't look like the trash he actually is. You put anything next to something gorgeous or valuable, and it looks like it's in your possession, you too seem to be valuable. Take that stuff away, and you see Donald Trump for the man he actually is. A nobody who wants to be somebody, who bullies people and lies about it, markets himself as some big person, and other people who are losers look up to him. Did I read him right? I think I read him pretty well. Another claim this man said, Europe has already lowered theirs 7 times interest rates. This is reality check. False. As of now, European Central Bank has not lowered interest rates 7 times. In fact, most major central banks, including the ECB, which is the European Central Bank, have held steady for months, waiting to assess inflation. So where did Donald Trump pull this 7 cuts? Out his ass. That's where he pulled it. Out his ass. So you look at this. This is the president of the United States. This man wrote outright lies to the American people. Lowered. What is lowered? Why do you got to put lowered in caps, in quotes? Lowered? I think we all understand if you're here and you go down here, you lowered. What's this lowered part? It makes no sense whatsoever. The dude doesn't even get concepts. Why are you going to put air quotes, or quotes rather, over something that automatically explains itself? The ECB, European Central Bank, is expected to start cutting in mid-2025 if inflation continues to fall. But Trump's 7 cuts is merely fictional. Falsities, flat out lies, no truth in it, not an ounce. It was completely fabricated. No reputable economic source or global finance outlet confirms any of this. Yet you got Trumpers out here in office, in positions of power, out on the street wearing two hats, all sitting around acting like this is the gospel. Boy. Crimson Spice, thank you for the gift. I appreciate you. It makes absolutely no sense, ladies and gentlemen, what this person did. What Trump just said was an outright lie. Outright lie. No truth in it whatsoever. Other things that happened, if you didn't get a chance to see my video this past week of Professor Jeffrey Sachs. I think I'm going to show a little piece of it here. Let's see if I can get it ready. Where Jeffrey Sachs is a trusted economist. People all over the world ask him for advice. He teaches it in schools or at, I think it's at, what school does he go to? I got at the top of my head, I can't remember right now, but he teaches at a school that, you know, that's known for economics. I think it's Columbia. I think it's Columbia is where he teaches at. So let me see if I can get this ready. Forgive me if I get it wrong, but I'm trying. Oh no, that's not it. But yeah. Let's see, that's it. Nope. I'm getting there, sorry. There it is. There we go. I don't know what happened there. All right, you're gonna watch this real quick, just a little bit. This is my video, so, but it's his, but it's part of my video. You might see me pop up. It needs to start. Come on, there we go.
If you take your credit card and you go shopping and you run up a large credit card debt, you're running a trade deficit with all those shops. Now, it would be pretty strange if you then blamed all the shop owners for having sold you all those things. You're ripping me off, you're ripping me off, you're ripping me off, I'm running a trade deficit. That is the level of understanding of the President of the United States. The trade deficit does not represent at all trade policies. It represents spending relative to production or earnings. We call that an identity. I teach it in the second day of my course in international monetary economics. Trump never made it to the second day.
I wanted you guys, and that's just me coming in my video. Let me go back to me real quick. I wanted you guys to actually see that because you see that audience. Now that is an audience of really brilliant people about economy. And even the host, one of the hosts, they're laughing. They're laughing. And this is, it's funny for Donald Trump as an individual, but as an American, this is devastating. This man just said Donald Trump would fail his course because he doesn't understand how the economy works at all. None. He goes on to say this in this interview, that Donald Trump would fail, which makes sense because if you watch that video on my page, I actually have the receipts from his professor at Wharton, this being Donald Trump's professor at Wharton, who passed away in 2011. But many years before, Donald Trump was his aspirations to be president. So he wasn't like a never Trumper, okay? So this man, professor, said about Donald Trump, and this is verbatim, whenever Donald Trump, this guy who he said it to was one of his friends for many years. He said for over 30 years, every time he said this, every time Donald Trump was mentioned or brought up, he would say, that Trump was the dumbest goddamn student I've ever had. It was that visceral. It wasn't like, yeah, he wasn't smart at all. No, he was the dumbest goddamn student I ever had. That's the guy who's our president. That in college, his professor, one of them, for business, he always brings up, I went to Wharton Business College to tell you he knows about business. No, sir, you do not. 6 casinos, everybody should know by now. Even an idiot can keep casinos open, keep the doors open for a casino, seeing that's how it fucking prints money, basically. Most people lose. In history, there have been very few people who have bankrupted a casino. Donald Trump wins 6 times as loser. So bad that people wouldn't even, in America, loan this man money because they knew it was an absolute loss. They would never get their money back. Donald Trump had to go overseas, even Russia, for people to invest in his ideas because he had wasted all those people. His dad had built up a reputation with the Trump name so that they could be able to get anything they want, have all this grade A credit that you could get hundreds of millions of dollars just off the Trump name. Trump destroyed that. They wouldn't give this fool a dime in America because they knew what kind of a trash human being and business person he was. New York turned their back on him. That's his hometown where his dad built everything. Donald Trump lost that credibility amongst the millionaires and billionaires in New York. They're like, nah, he's trash. But idiotic Americans who've never probably accomplished is nowhere near what his dad would accomplish. This man was born with a gold toilet under his ass. And these people think this man has their back. He literally on the campaign trail behind the closed doors, which was actually recorded. Give me $1 billion and I'll give you what you want, billionaires. And they just loaded this dude with cash, and ever since then, he's been giving them everything they want. How is that for the American people? I just found out on Easter is usually not supported by corporations, supported by the people and things of that nature because it's something for the people, by the people, our government. It was all funded through major corporations, Amazon and all these other major corporations that gave him money. While Americans couldn't afford to buy so many eggs for their kids, they had like a crap ton of eggs for free, didn't pay for them, based on mainstream media. That's not my research, that's theirs. How does this man care about American people? He's never told one American that I care about you. Not by showing it. Every time you see him with his little minions, if they say one thing, he could sit there and call them all kinds of names. Listen to all the names that Marco Rubio called Trump. But he basically had to apologize for it and about face and say, oh, he's a good guy, blah, blah, blah. Did Donald Trump come back and say, oh, yeah, he's no longer little Marco Rubio? No, he gave him compliments as long as he does what he asked him. The minute he said something like, you know, Donald Trump, I don't think you should do this. Oh, little Marco is going to come right back out. We all know it. He is a 78, 79-year-old petulant child that they keep on rubbing his back and telling him he's a good boy, when in reality, he's a piece of trash human. This man that you just saw, Jeffrey Sachs, is frustrated with Donald Trump because he knows this man has no grasp of the economy. He knows he has no clue. And his worry is the people that he has around him that should know something, like Scott Bessent, they're being quiet, lackadaisical, allowing Donald Trump to continue down this path. There's reporting today that Scott Bessent, whom everybody who's in the stock or money in business respects him, says he's really good, but fear that his wings have been clipped. That he is like being treated like second to one of Donald Trump's sycophants who got arrested, right? And is now, what's his name? Peter Navarro? Yeah. This guy is like the one that's got Donald Trump's ear the most. In order for them to kind of like get Donald Trump the last time to stop on these tariffs, they had to get Peter Navarro out of the room so that they could talk to Donald Trump by themselves, so that Peter Navarro wouldn't be able to jump in and say, hey, I don't think you should do this, because Donald Trump, he has Donald Trump's ear more so than the actual people who know what the economy is about. And we all know this Peter Navarro dude doesn't have the grasp of the economy like the other people, like Scott Bessent, right? We know this by now because Peter Navarro, he made up his character that told him that all about. He said, I learned all of my information from this other guy, which is basically an anagram of his own freaking name. It's not a real person. Donald Trump came up with somebody else, John Barron or some shit like that. It's crazy how he named his son Barron, but came up with this guy to say, I'm rich, when he wasn't yet. I don't know what this country's trying to prove. This white supremacy, what's so funny? It's throughout all these moments of saying that they're supreme, we have only seen these white men be stupid. So you're trying to tell me that dumbass white men are the supreme beings in this country? I mean, they do stupid shit, yet though you're the supreme being. It really kind of goes with what that even really means. I mean, it's a slap in the face to all Americans to think that these types of people are supposed to be the supreme being, the ones who make mistake after mistake after mistake over and over and over again. And you have other people who keep on whitewashing it and saying, it's not. No. Biden didn't make any of these mistakes. Obama didn't make these. Obama got handed a horrible economy and turned it around. Donald Trump's been handed both times a great economy that could get better and trashed it both times. And now he's trying to make America the 7th casino that he closes down. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Donald Trump is going against this Jerome Powell, who happens to be his own appointee. He was appointed by Donald Trump in 2018, in which Donald Trump, again, one of his best choices, I hire the best people. Until I fuck up and they don't do what I asked them to do, they're horrible people then. Trump's claim that Powell has always been too late, except when he lowered in order to help sleepy Joe Biden, what we said earlier. False. It's false, and not only is it false, it's conspiratorial. The Federal Reserve is an independent body. It doesn't just help a president. This is not a thing. While no institution is above critique, there's no evidence Powell manipulated rates to favor Biden, or that he coordinated cuts around election season to swing political favor. These are feelings these nitwits have. And once again, what is the name of my show? Fuck your feelings. Let's deal with the facts. It's crazy how these they project. They're like, you guys are all in your feelings. I'm like, but dude, ours are factual. You're in your feelings about lies. And because you're so strong on your lie, or into your feelings rather, you won't check out if what you're upset about is not really happening. You'd rather be upset about a lie than find out the truth and be happy. It's crazy. In fact, interest rates were near zero during most of Trump's term and only began rising as inflation spiked in 2021, long after Trump left office. What he just did was a political deflection. He blamed others for problems ignored his own record. And he would spin like conspiracy when reality doesn't cooperate with his record. Donald Trump has been a stain, dare I say, a shit stain on American history. History would not do this man kind. We'll look back on him and say, oh my God, if we keep this democracy. But that's when America was going through some crap. And everybody in there, except for the MAGA people, is going to want to forget this man ever existed. It's going to be one of those things where, man, whew, I know we had some bad presidents, but whew, let's take him off the list. We don't even want to remember he did it. Who was the what president? No, 45 and 47, not at all. We ain't going to want to know nothing about him, other than the fact of, don't do that shit again, America. Don't do it again. If you're mad at something, then don't vote. Just don't come around and add your vote to nonsense just because you're mad at the world. You see where that got you. Pay attention to the issues and not just the person all the time. The issues at hand. Donald Trump did not offer to fix jack shit. He told you guys, I'll fix it. Never gave you a plan. Always had concepts. Never a plan. And 9 years later, he still had concepts. That had to tell you, alarm bells. This man knows not what he's doing. Ask yourself, why are you attached to someone who's a bumbling idiot that you look up to? I don't know about you, but I look up to people whom I feel to be smarter to me or smarter than me. Not somebody I can look at and be like, dude, I could beat him in an easy math test. I mean, this dude is sitting on, this was years ago, this man, person, woman, camera, car, TV. And you know, if you go back and look at that video that he was doing that, just say, I don't have a problem. I give Biden, tell him to try and do this. Person, woman, camera, car, TV. This man looked at everything he said. He looked at the guy in front of him. Person, woman, man, camera, which was on him, TV. Everything that was in front of him, he pointed at. You could see his face. Person, woman, camera, whatever, man. And we're on TV. I remembered, boy, just slow. And that was to him an IQ test that I was like, what? That's for dementia, bruh. And his people fell for that. I was like, wow. I promise you I didn't realize we had that many stupid people in the world. I promise you I didn't. I did not think that, just having common sense put you on genius level for some people. Seriously. Some of us realize we're actually geniuses just by knowing fucking common sense. That's just genius level shit for most of Americans. It's scary. Other people who are like really, really smart must be superhuman. It's crazy, y'all. So we're trying to avoid stagflation. And in so doing, We got to let Jerome Powell be independent. No president, not Biden, not Obama, not Trump, not Reagan, not the other, none of the Bushes, none of them should have any say so in an independent Fed where they can actually increase or lower rates. That's got to be independent based on the economy speaking to them and them getting a core group of expert people determining. Everybody thinks for some reason, this is what kills me too, is like people not knowing reality. What Jerome Powell being the Fed chair literally means, and this is what's killing me about Donald Trump, he still doesn't have an understanding of how this works. He is the Fed chair, which means he doesn't make the final decision on things. It literally means, well, he may have a major part in the final decision, but he has a team of economists and respected people, right? And out of that team, there's only 7 of them that finally makes the final vote for the decision on what to do. Jerome Powell doesn't just wield a sword and say, hey, we're going to lower rates and raise them. It is a team of people. He's calling this dude out like he's a dumbass for not doing it, but it is a team of people who vote for this. He is the chair who comes out and tells everybody. He is like the like Groundhog's Day. He's the groundhog. He comes out, pokes his head out, and we know whether we're going to go into recession or everything's going to be good if he sees his shadow. It's basically that in very simplistic forms for people who are stupid. I had to dumb it down, but it's very simple. The dude can't make the decision by himself. Donald Trump thinks he can, which he shouldn't be able to either. It should be going to the House and the Senate, and then to him. He is the determining factor after they make the decisions. But because Republicans and other people who decided not to vote allowed this idiot in office and got them the head of the House and Senate, we're sitting here in limbo. Everybody's mad at Democrats. You need to be mad at yourself for not voting if you didn't vote. And if you ended up talking about, oh, I care for Palestine so much, I just can't vote for, then you fucked up too. Because this man is trying to turn Palestine into a fucking resort. He's not trying to negotiate shit. Telling people I'm going to do something and then they say, well, you're not going to do it? You guys aren't going to do it? Okay, I'll pull out. Him negotiating, and this is what kills me. He's such a great negotiator. He really isn't. What did he negotiate? Tell me what he's negotiated. Tell me one thing that Donald Trump has negotiated that we can count on. I haven't noticed one. Give me one thing he negotiated on. I'll wait. They have no facts. They deal in feelings. And that's why these Republicans who turn, these turncoat Republicans who aren't patriots, that's why they follow him, because the money comes because of his power and what his perceived power prior to. Donald Trump is not the richest person he ever knew. He wouldn't be going begging other rich people. He needed power so that they could capitulate to him. Before Donald Trump became, a president or anything of that nature, these billionaires ignored the hell out of him. They knew they couldn't give him any money. They just pacify him. Now he's pissed off that they treated him like he was this weird figure that keeps on trying to hang around wealth, but doesn't necessarily deserve it because he doesn't have a product to sell worth a damn, except for everything with his name on it. Donald Trump has never came up with a creative idea. He's still on his dad's tip. His name. What's new? Not creative whatsoever. People run to him. Can I put my name on a card? Can I put my name? And all he does is say, go ahead. That's the deal. Sell those ugly ass gold shoes. Oh, he had to order the deal. People know they can make money off of you. That's nothing. Look at all of the influencers that you see on these platforms. There are people who reach out to us every day wanting to use our individual names and likenesses to make money off of, selling the most craziest crap on the planet. I get people want me to sell pantyhose. The fuck do I look like selling pantyhose? with statements like, we love your content. We understand you have, look at how many people you have here, and look how many people you have here. We would love to. No. But see, Donald Trump's on that other tip. You want it? Really? Oh, okay. You want shoes? All right, cool. Deal. Ugly ass shoes. Put your name on. What? Cards? Little coins? Yeah, deal. Then they go up and completely crash. Why? Because he's really not attached to it. It's a bunch of bumbling idiots that just get him to say yes. They're the one that's making the deal. They're the one that's really making money off of it. Donald Trump, he makes his little money probably up top, and everybody else makes their money until it dies, and he keeps on moving. Ask him what his shoes are selling for now. He don't care if it's selling at all. It's amazing to me that he sells his likeness to everything, and everybody thinks he's like the art of the deal. He's not. Any one of us can get those types of deals if we're willing to sell who the hell we are. We may not get the same amount of money as him at the very beginning, but once your brand grows, of course it would. It's not that hard. They need you because they want to sell a hawk product. And there's no shortage of people trying to sell crap. So that's this idea of Trump being something. Donald Trump has no clue how this country works. Just listen to him. I don't have to know him. Just listen to him. He doesn't know how the economy works. All he wants is things to happen. And he doesn't even know how they happen. And the people around him is scary how they're too afraid to tell him, dude, that's not a good thing. Just the idea of Donald Trump putting out that tweet, stocks started to fall. Because like I said, and many people, you don't have to listen to me, many investors and money people will tell you, the worst thing you can do to stock is make it uncertain to some degree, to make it unsteady. Numbers are going to always go up and down. But it's based on a foundation that everything's kind of steady. And the market is determining itself. There's no external force fucking with the market on a day-to-day basis. So when you're every day doing something to fuck with the market so that it doesn't just work on its own, that puts fear into people. Like, wait a minute, I could lose everything with this fool. I don't know what he's going to wake up and tweet tomorrow. And they start selling. Then you got your greedy people. They see Donald Trump did that. Oh, sell. But then they're going to wait for something that they possibly think is going to pop back up. All right. Once he goes down to the bottom, they're going to make buy. Then something's going to possibly happen. Boom, it shoots right back up. They make a lot of money. We saw Marjorie Taylor Greene do that already. So all they got to do is follow Trump's drastic tweets and the economy will drop. And I bet you right now, many of these people have invested more money into the stock market just as it went down. In the next couple of days, it will be up to like 1,200 or something like that, as opposed to the 971 that was down today. They're playing with the market. It's pissing people off. But you don't hear too many billionaires saying anything right now. Let them continue, like Japan, who owns $1.1 trillion of our bonds, and China that owns like over 700 and I think it's over 760 or 780 billion of our bonds. Let them start to sell off. And they've already did it. Japan already started. It wasn't China, it was Japan. They continue doing that, our dollar goes down. And understand, Japan and other countries like Russia and China, Russia, they have a reason to want to do that. They've been trying to devalue the dollar forever. They've been trying to move to BRICS. It's not consistent just yet. It's not trusted enough just yet. But let Trump keep fucking with American dollar and see what happens. 4 more years of Donald Trump playing these games. Oh yeah, these countries, the EU, all that, they'll move. They'll have to, unless their economy would fucking fall apart like ours, and they ain't about to do that. And we just found out, if you weren't paying attention at all, like in the past week or so, uh, that even this guy that I showed you, was it Jeffrey Sachs? He's the one who just, I don't know, I'll probably get the video so that you won't think I'm lying to you. He said that China is only 12% of the, we're only 12% of their economy. They don't need us. He said, in this fight, China wins. This is an economist that's trusted throughout the world, not just the United States, that people come to and ask questions about their own economies in their own countries. Who's saying China doesn't need us like we think they do. And he goes in, you can go watch the entire video, but he goes into depth about, how we lose in this battle. And he's worried about, because it's his country, he said, this is our country. Donald Trump doesn't know what he's doing. And you can't find any economists, I dare you find them, outside of Trump's bubble, a trusted economist saying what Donald Trump is doing is going to work. All of them know it is going to fail us. And where are these 76 countries, or what they say, well, over 75 countries that wanted to make a deal? How far we come along with that? I don't hear any deals. And trust me, if there were any, they'd be bragging about it. See? Look what I did. See? Look what I did. Because that's all they do, is brag about what they've done, even if they have to lie about it. There hasn't been any stories out about them creating deals with these other countries on tariffs. And our other thing is, like we've always talked about, if you're new here, you can look it up, but Donald Trump put out something talking about, he's got Japan talking to him and things of that nature. Go look it up. Before did Japan talk to Donald Trump, which there's no deal that we know of that's been had by them, right? Before all that, when Donald Trump was doing all these things, before Donald Trump got a chance to speak to them, China, Korea, that being, I'm sure South Korea, not North, but Korea, and Japan all got together, countries that don't like each other, and came up with some deal we don't know anything about. But they had a conference, and they got brought together by the sheer fuckery of America, hiring Sir Dipshit. Does that make us safer as Americans? I'm not saying that they're our enemies. I'm just saying is these people are a superpower amongst their own. We supposedly are the number one based on, I don't know what, because it's our dollar, that's about it, in our military. But when it comes to the second biggest economy financially, the third biggest economy financially, and then Korea, which we rely on heavily for clothing, textiles, shoes, things of that nature to be made, all of them got together. I want to know what that deal is all about. The hell what Donald Trump is talking about. What were they talking about? Because I know for a fact that all three of them are smarter than Donald Trump ever thought he could be. Ever thought he dreamt he could be. It is my fear that their strategy is going to basically destroy the dollar. And Donald Trump is too stupid to realize what he's doing. And the people around him don't have the cojones to stand up to Sir Idiot. And therefore, we're sitting here allowing these people to destroy our country. It's just terrible. Earthkeeper said liquidity in stocks is also an issue. Yes, sir. I see you saying, Earthkeeper. I know he's lead. Trey Shy. I guess it's Chicago, maybe. When I say Shy, yeah, he's listening to Peter Navarro. Again, someone who's not bright listen to someone who's not bright. And what does that say about us Americans? We sat here and allowed this fool to become president. Not me, not you, who probably listening to me, but these MAGA people and these far left people who decided not to vote or to vote for Jill Stein, who is in Russia's pocket. It's so crazy how the election's done and Jill Stein is nowhere to be found. Every time the elections happen, for the last couple of elections, she gets her name and face in there and try to act like she's doing something. She disappears. What happened to Marianne Williamson? Bounce. Don't hear a word from her. I thought you're still fighting for the country. You should be saying something about what's going on right now, but no. They get in to distract, divide, and conquer. I guarantee you they're sitting on a big pile of money from Russia and from Republicans. Just sitting waiting until they get their orders, their marching orders to run again. I guarantee if they're not gone by some strange event or just old age, the next election, those two will be back in the elections and getting the far left idiots to sit there and be like, hey, she's got a great idea. No, she doesn't. Never has, never will. She just says what you want her to hear. She knows she can never implement them. How is she hanging with dictators and Republicans and being all cool with them? How is she really fighting for you when she's not fighting against the things that they're saying they're going to do to you? Neither one of them. Marianne Williamson was too high. Every time she spoke, you knew that woman was high. You want a leader that's just as high all the time, speaking like she in slow motion. Myrtle the turtle talk. That's who you wanted as a president. Somebody who came to work lit every day. Just because she sounded good. The thing she wanted. Man, disappointment some of these people are. Disappointment. It's like, yo, you got to figure out like a strategy to win stuff. Whatever you may want. Here's the thing. We're not going to get everything we want out of any politician in this system whatsoever. But what we can do is focus on things that we do want and come at it from that direction. As Americans, we can think about things we want as our individual, culture or community. Black people can think of stuff they want. Latin, white people, Asian people. You can think of things that you want in the communities that you're in if they're majority your race. And everybody should be happy with the fact that each culture, if it's a majority of their community that's in that culture, they all should be able to get at least one thing. It ain't taking nothing away from everybody else. It's America. I mean, come on. We are not divided up equally, and we don't get the same types of opportunities based not on our work ethic, but on our culture and skin. It's about time we face that shit and stop believing that everybody can make it the same way that white people make it in this country. That is a falsity. It's not true. If you have extraordinary talents, no matter what race you are, you may have a better chance. Like a Jordan, for instance. But you know how many people who can play just as good as Jordan and never made it that are black? Way more than Jordan. There are players that Jordan would tell you about that was better than him that never got a chance. So please, stop believing that just because one black person, one Latin person, one woman got it, all of them can get it. That's bull. Because our system doesn't divide itself up to help the many. It divides itself up to help the few, the wealthy. We have to figure out a way to say, you know what? The old way of doing shit is fucked up. We got to think of a better way. Because if the old way hasn't gotten us to the promised land, then continuing it is not going to get us there. It's figuring out better ways, being creative on how we can do it, and being acceptive of different types of people and their ideas. It's that simple. It's not really hard. Your community in which you live in needs something, a bridge, a better school, something. And your community can say, that's what we need. And there should be no reason why our government shouldn't help build that with all of our tax money and city, state by state by state. You can't tell me we can't do this when we had a pandemic and we had millions to give away to one person. Marjorie Taylor Greene got $3 million. And all these other sycophants of Donald Trump's got millions upon millions. Hell, until the Lakers had to give it back, they got like $4 million. Rich as hell, what they need that for? You can't tell me we can't do this. We can. We've done it. It's just that in dire needs. Taking care of American citizens is a dire need. Having health care for the many and not just for the few is a dire need. It costs less by doing it, by the billions. We just got greedy people that don't want to help anybody out but greedy people. And they get regular people who need health care to back it up because they too want to be rich and have the same ideas as the rich people. The rich people in this country no longer give a fuck about anybody but them. They donate to you to shut you up, America, so they can continue living the affluent life. They give that money so you just shut up about them and praise them. All while they're laughing that you're getting pennies while they're getting dollars. Wake up and realize it's going to be us that fix this, not them. It's going to be us. One of the things I realize is that a lot of people don't know, what causes, to say, in a sense, there's multiple things that cause stagflation. But one of the major things is happening more often is price gouging. Exactly what Kamala Harris was talking about. In this country, there's so much greed that when you hear Donald Trump say eggs have went down, that was the price of the eggs at the distributor, from the farmer and so forth, or either from the distributor to the stores. That's how much they paid for it. For you, the citizen who is buying it, the customer, no, it's gone up. They're not selling it to you for that price. Now, if you ask, and let's say a ChatGPT or Google, how much is the average egg price in stores, then you might get, that'll be the one about the average price inside the stores. But if you're asking how much of egg prices decreased, that's talking about to the distributor or to the store, but not to you and me. And that's why people get fooled and think, oh, prices went down. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Not unless they charge us less, and that's what they have. It's their job to price it, in which if we are getting eggs and they're like at $7 and theirs went low, they're gonna keep it at $7. We keep selling out at $7. We keep selling out at $7. Why are we gonna lower it down to $6.50? If you keep buying it at $7. So I was trying to find out, was price gouging like a major thing that's happening now? Is the reason why we have, the prices have went up, not due necessarily to the economy going up and down like that. Is it because the uncertainty, these businesses are actually charging way more than what they're buying it for and creating this pocket of profit that is gouging us as opposed to helping us? Now, in times of need, like right now, when people don't have as much and the cost of living is much higher, people's rent's going up, their car payments and interest is going up, and these billionaires who have these stores, they're selling us stuff, whether it be food or clothing, whatever, they're increasing their profit margins when they could easily lower them so that they can improve the economy and make the economy better. The problem we're having now is that people are charging way more than they're actually buying it for. They're gouging us. If they actually went back to making the amount of profit they was making before, our economy would be growing and be great. It'd be a lot better even under Donald Trump's crazy ass, uh, tariff program he's trying to ride with. Which led me to understand something. Americans, like I said, I've been working on stuff and solutions for us. There are certain things that we can't necessarily, as a group, own to a certain degree. But I want you guys to start thinking about starting. This is how we get rid of stagflation completely, because of this greed thing in the economy. And the idea that a lot of these major billionaires, they own way too much. In an industry such as like eggs and farming, there are literally like 4 or 5 companies that own the entire market. So if those companies want to charge us, $6, $7, $8 for eggs, each one of those companies would be like, okay, that's cool. They're not supposed to be talking to one another, but they'll see $8 is fine. Yeah, fine. $8. So we all getting gouged. We have to start as individual American citizens to start buying into these industries to some degree. Not the individual like farm. We can get farmers and so forth, but getting farmers to sell to the people and not to these distributors. To be able to make our own things happen for us and to exclude or at least compete with the billionaires who really don't give a shit about us. We have to start our own movement of contacting individual small businesses that, small farms, going to China or Japan, finding tech and saying, fuck these big box stores and buying everything there. We need to start our own side businesses until they can grow, where we start to starve these billionaires of their power. Stop buying everything from these box stores, because those billionaires don't give 2 shits about us as Americans. If they did, they would end up stop gouging us. But they're not. They're making us pay extraordinary costs for things that we like and adore. When they go over to China and buy it for $10, selling it to us for $1,500. It is the American people who have to decide. We're done with this shit. After seeing what the Chinese people have told us what things actually cost, there's no reason that many of us, and I'm trying to build a platform for this, wouldn't be able to start our own things and start selling them, getting them for $10 from China, Japan, Brazil, and start selling it to each other and saying, look, we're going to have an agreement never to gouge American citizens. And if nobody wants to do it, I'll do it by myself and do it. I promise not to gouge American citizens. If I get it for $5, I'll do it, and everything that it cost me to package and like that, I'll sell it for $35. And there's a special added on thing to that for the American people, because I love the people. Good people. I can't stand these trifling ass people, but good people. And like I said, the members only, I'm going to discuss exactly how this is going to be beneficial to all those willing to be a part of something like that. Because I think it's about time the people help the people and stop giving the power to these billionaires, and also to the leaders, House and the Senate. It's about time we take that power of the billionaire away. That's what I look at. That's what I work on. Every day I'm thinking about how I can make this a better country for us and not for just the billionaires. The greed thing has got to go. There's no problem with having money and being wealthy. It's about when you decide that wealth gives you more power and more say so. Just not one vote. You got to vote. That's it. Just like I got one. No matter whether you're poor or rich, you should not have additional votes. And that's the part that fucks this country up. Is people believing they have an additional vote just because they have money. The American citizens should realize those days should go in order for this country to actually realize what it's really supposed to be. This is America. We have this thing that we're the greatest country in the world. But it's just a slogan if we don't live by it. I take it seriously. If we're going to say we're great, then we actually have to do great things. Not once in a while, but make it so that every day we strive to be great and greater. I know Trump uses that term, but he doesn't own it. The truth of being great is a whole other process than what they're doing. They want to go back to white supremacy. I want to go to a place we've never been. A place where everybody has a right to be able to whoever they want to be, without anybody telling you how you're supposed to be. Mind your own fucking business. If I am gay, straight, bi, it's none of your fucking business. You're not my partner, not at all. It has nothing to do with whether I can buy a cake from you or an apple from you, whether you can marry me or not. It's not your business. If you are into whatever, it's none of my business. My business should be you are a human being. And as long as you're not harming other human beings, then what do I got to do with that? The laws are so that we protect each other from the worst of us. It's not there to go after those who want to do nothing but just love the way they love. We have common laws. And if you really want to talk about small government, I believe in small government in the sense that you stay out of our fucking business when it has nothing to do with breaking a specific law that would harm a woman, child, man, baby, whatever. But outside of harm, me living the way I want to live should never be any of your business. Ever. Most people just want to live, love, and enjoy life. The demons amongst us will rise once the ones who aren't demons start to act like the people that we say we are, good people. The evil and crazy stuff will rise because we're not sitting there trying to police good people. We see the people who are out there doing bad. And let the laws determine that through court, through a process in which due process that if you do something wrong, you go through a court system. I don't know if you guys saw the 60 Minutes. Let me get the exact name so you can go look it up because I'm not going to play it here. I was going to play a little bit, but I'm not going to play it here. The name of it is, if you want to look up on YouTube, What Records Show About the Migrants Sent to Salvadoran Mega Prison. Write that down in there. You'll see. Just take this back if you can, whatever, and you'll see. 60 Minutes and watch it. It's like 13 minutes for that segment. Did y'all know that 75% of the young men and men who were sent to El Salvador don't have a police record? I think it's 2 to 3% they couldn't figure out if they had a record or not. Like 22% of them have records, but there's like only out of the 22%, out of the whole 22% who have records, there are 12 of them that have actually committed like murder and like, extreme crimes. The other ones are like, not like robbery or shoplifting or something like that, whatever it is. These smaller misdemeanors. So there are literally only out of all of them, 12 of them that actually have broken laws in their past. They have a criminal record. 12. All the rest of them, no record, y'all. I don't understand, America. We're supposed to be this beacon. The shit that we've been selling everybody, we're this beacon, even to our own Americans. Beacon of hope, a beacon of truth. It seems like you guys are a beacon of hate. Because if you had taken those people and they were all white men, they'd be home right now. Tell me I'm lying. They'd be home right now if all those men had never had a record and you kicked them and put them into a prison. Wouldn't have happened. Wouldn't have happened. And if you know that to be true, then those men need to be back on American soil and handled appropriately. If they broke said law through due process, they get sent back to their country, not to a prison and being put in a place where they disappear. For all you know, the country in which many of them are from may want them back. Why didn't you go down through that process? Or they may even want to go back themselves after this. But they should have that due process. Something you robbed them of. And for that, the biggest criminal is not those right now in those cages. It is those that are in the White House saying that that's okay. It is those American citizens who are sitting here looking at that and saying that is the best way to go for immigration. You're the criminal and the sympathizers of criminals. And what else do we expect from them? They adore a rapist, a fraudster, a person who has 34 felonies minimum. The other cases weren't allowed to be tried because he became president. He probably would have had more felonies on top of that. They adore that. So why are we confused at all that they have no problem with this man breaking the laws and sending people out of nowhere to another country, into a dark space that they'll never see the light of day, and 75% of them have never broken a law in their life. And they say, oh, we made one mistake. No, you made 75% fucking mistakes. It's just that those people aren't on the news. And it took 60 minutes to actually find them because you wouldn't give the information as to these individual names. They had to look at the pictures of the videos that you guys showed these young men being taken. Watch that video. You will be disgusted if you have a heart whatsoever. If you're an evil bastard, you have fun watching it. Just know you're an evil bastard once it's over and you enjoyed that process. Just know that. The final thing that I'm going to go over is, well, no, actually there's two things. One is Pete Hegseth. You guys see that today? It is the second Signal app, the chat app, in which about that same issue, he gives his information to his wife, his personal lawyer, and other people who were sent on Signal on his personal phone, supposedly. Government information about the war. And from what I hear, I may be wrong on this. They said it was another one, but I don't know if it's the same one that was before, but they make it sound like it was a second incident, like something else is about to happen. They're about to have another mission, and this information was given to his brother-in-law or something like that. It's insane. Go look it up. It's insane that this man is caught twice. Now, my video that came out today is asking the mainstream media to look at this, because I want you to understand something. If you go back and you look at my video, you'll see I posted it today, and we've talked about it before, that there's a guy by the name of Mika Meadowcroft. Mika, M-I-C-A-H, Meadowcroft. He is a person who helped write Project 2025. Now, he's a person who's like an assistant of some sort to Russ Vought, real name Russell Vought. This guy is the one who was the head creator of Project 2025 and has been hired to implement everything in the White House. Donald Trump brought him in. Mika Meadowcroft literally said before the presidency about Project 2025 that they were going to have a secret back channel in which they could escape FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. This is for the mainstream media. Pay the fuck attention. And please, if you see that video, go send the link to every news organization that you know of, small, medium, large, city, state, government, everywhere that you can possibly find that you watch from. Put it in their comment section or in my comment section, or put the video on one of their platforms. Pump the hell out of it, because we really want to know, mainstream media. They literally said in an undercover like sting they had of these people talking about Project 2025 that they were going to have a secret back channel in which they were going to implement Project 2025, which means they wanted to keep this from the American public and from the actual senators and congressmen and women in power in the United States that did not have access to this particular way of communicating that nobody else saw. He literally says, this Mika Meadowcroft, it can't be on the email server in the government. Otherwise, the media would be able to see it. The media is supposed to be America's conduit into the government being a legitimate government. It is your job, mainstream media, to do the investigative reporting so that you hold our government to its actual standard of what it says it's supposed to be. So you're supposed to be investigating these people while you're asking them questions. You need to be asking Mika Meadowcroft. I said it again, Mika Meadowcroft, for the mainstream media. I have yet to see you guys chase this dude down and ask him the question, what did you mean by you guys had to have this information infiltrated without using emails from the government so that you can have information behind the scenes that nobody sees that's not foiable? You do know that that breaks maybe 3 laws in this country. Why aren't they asking him that question? That's my question to mainstream media. The shit's been out there since 2024. Why haven't you talked about this? Why haven't you done an investigative report about this whatsoever? It makes no sense. It is my belief, not fact, my belief based off of what Mika Meadowcroft said. How else would you have a behind the scenes way of communicating to the people who are in Project 2025 how to implement their particular jobs of these particular programs if you didn't have a back channel and you couldn't use the government email system? That would mean you would have to have something that nobody else sees, that America can't reach, which means signal. What else do you have, America? Government, Democrat, Republican, senators, congressmen. What other resource do you have that is non-foiable to communicate with each other? Because the government should have everything foiable. Anything that's going there, I should say, this is the Freedom of Information Act. I want to know about it, and I should be released. Even if it's going to be heavily redacted, you have to release that to the American people, unless it's like something highly secret that we're not supposed to see, ongoing programs and things of that nature. But in this situation, it is how our government runs, and they're communicating via a way that's not visible to the actual government people outside of Project 2025, right? And the American people. That to me sounds like a deep state. And if that is going on, which Democrats and Republicans should be investigating this through Congress, through the House, bringing Mika Meadowcroft in front of the House or Senate and asking him, here's a video. What did you mean by that, sir? You're under oath. And if he lies, send his ass straight to jail. That pressure should be on them, because this is America's democracy. We're not playing games here. It appears, based off of what these people have said, they're on a back channel doing America's work without America seeing it. And the only back channel we've caught them on is Signal. And being on Signal means they're doing government work where Russia and other people can see it. Right? Exactly. So why aren't you checking that out, mainstream media? I want to see somebody investigating that. I want to see a video on that. I want to hear that you're doing something about it. It makes no sense that you're not. It's in plain sight, and they act like it's hidden. If it doesn't turn up anything, great, but at least look into it. Because this man was talking to he thought a millionaire, or billionaire, a rich person, whom was going to help him implement Project 2025. Go look it up and quit playing, mainstream media. Do your job. The last thing about this is that Kristi Noem, her purse was stolen with $3,000 in it, and some other personal items she mentions, and was it checks? I mean, honestly, I don't know how old Kristi Noem is, but I don't know anybody who has checks. I ain't seen nobody with a check in forever. I mean, I don't understand it. This is a new age. I don't know where she's coming from with checks, but hey, maybe it's a payroll thing. She paid with payroll checks or something. She said personal checks. I don't know. To each his own. Some people stay in the past. But the reality is, she says at $3,000, she felt like she had to explain it. For me, at the very beginning, onset, she said she lost $3,000. I'm like, rich people have, when I've worked with a lot of rich people, and they've given me $3,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, to have, and it's basically petty money that you get on the daily, so that when you're their assistant, you're running around doing errands for them. You always have money on you, and a lot of things they buy is expensive, so that you don't get their credit card. You just have this cash, this petty cash that they give you, right? So I didn't, myself, from my perspective, being in the entertainment industry for so many years, and at the very beginning being an assistant, I thought nothing of it. I thought it was just, whatever. She felt like she had to tell us what it was for. So she went all out and said, hey, I got $3,000 in. I had to get money out because we went out to eat at this restaurant with family. And all my family was going to be there, so I needed the money. I call bullshit on that. You're in a restaurant. Who goes to a restaurant and gives people cash? Most of the time, these restaurants won't even accept cash like that. So, I mean, she may have been in a nice restaurant, but again, they still want the card. So she said she had $3,000 because her family came into town and she wanted to pay for them. Who pays cash, y'all? That didn't make any sense to me. So something's fishy about that $3,000. I don't know what it is, but I think it should not be just left at she had the $3,000. It may have been a payoff. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't make any sense, right? It could be innocent, but why'd you take it out to buy food when you got credit cards? Obviously, no sense. But anyway, if she had said personal assistant, petty cash, I get it, but this didn't make sense to me. Now, the other thing that went down with that is because of the Signal Gate and these MAGA minions, I know they're all on it. Regular people on it, Democrats on it too, but they do it for like personal shit. This is what they say. They need to be investigated too, if that's the case. I don't care who. All of them get investigated if they have to. If you can't just point out Republicans, investigate them all. Republicans, Democrats, Independents. If you have the Signal app on your government phone, which they said, some of the Republicans said they did, which shouldn't be, then you have to check and see if they've sent any of that information, government information, over there. You calling your homie in the other department and saying you want to go out and eat, that's fine. But if you're saying personal shit about the government on these chat lines, no, that's not fine. None whatsoever. I don't care who's doing it. Republican, Democrats, Independents. But in this situation, they didn't mention Kristi Noem losing her phone or any electronics whatsoever. They don't say that. Now, here's the problem that I have with that. She was at a restaurant. She had her purse, which she left somewhere that she wouldn't have it on her body. I've never known a woman to leave her purse with just anybody or just sitting at a table by itself. Then to have Secret Service around you. Now, you may not have as many Secret Service people as Donald Trump, but you at least got one, maybe two that's there, and they always try to blend in the background. So he or she should have been staring at you and your property, but somehow missed it. On top of that, the restaurant had to have cameras for security. We don't have that. I mean, it's just too much. Her key fob or information to get into the government locations, or click to get in, she lost that. So whomever has it, I know they probably turned it off by now, but had the opportunity to get into the government spaces via her passcode, her badge, her credit cards, and things of that nature. Here's the thing that kills me. Said her credit cards are gone. You got credit cards and you went and got $3,000 out to pay for. Weird. I get it. But anyway, everybody's different. But when you come down to the fact that they never mentioned whether her cell phone, I want you to understand something. What I've heard over the years is that they have more than one phone. They get a government phone, that's one, and you have your personal phone, that's another. You can't tell me she had her government phone and her personal phone on her person, but left her purse behind. Reason I say this is because these people are all on Signal. And being on Signal, if she hasn't deleted it yet, whomever has her products has the information. And seeing as how they have her contact information to any of these conversations she may have had, those conversations will show up somewhere. Because all they have to do is get into her phone, and if she hasn't deleted them, it's a wrap. And all the resources of everybody, cloning doesn't take nothing, right? Even if she gets a new phone, her name is attached to that one. Open up the app, and it's not attached to the phone itself, it's attached to the app. Open up the app when she may not be in the room, but her name's in the room. Is she listening or is somebody else? These are the questions that need to be asked. These aren't saying that these are facts. It's just saying if Signal is their back channel in which Mika Metacroft, the dude who co-wrote or helped at least write Project 2025, because he's an assistant to Russell Vogt, who was a mastermind for Project 2025, who was given okay to create Project 2025 from Donald Trump, who was leaving office in 2020. If she's on these channels, those channels are all compromised with the theft of that purse. I myself don't think somebody took it just to be taking the money and things. They wouldn't have known that was there. It was more than likely, because she's a part of this process, if anything, a spy. You can't rule it out until you rule it out. These people are careless with information. They are a spy's dream. All it has to be is that money show back up and these people be, oh, I got my purse, I got my money, I got my phone, but your phone may be cloned. It's a wrap. Again, these things are possibilities. They aren't fact yet. But my question is, these media mainstream media who has access to these people, these are questions they should be asking and answers that should be there. They become so, it's weird. I'm going to say trusting, but so numb to asking the simple facts. Why aren't you asking these things every time they happen? Her purse was stolen. You should have a crap ton of questions to ask mainstream media. You shouldn't just be reporting to us, it was stolen. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe it won't. Next story. Yeah, that part pisses me off, y'all. Because how are you keeping our country safe? And how is the media actually being that conduit from the government doing what it says it's supposed to be doing, and the media holding their feet to the fire? We need people who literally have good questions and have high doubt of these people so that we're always on alert. And it's better to be proven wrong and the country's doing right by us than to act like it's doing right and it's doing wrong by us and you're too scared to ask the questions that might kick you out of a room. Fuck all that. Ask the questions that may get you kicked out of a room. It will show information that is beneficial to the American people. We need to know the truth. We don't need to have you sitting there being upset that you're not invited to the party. The party is with the people, not the government. And if you're not benefiting the people by asking the questions that we want to know, then leave. What are you here for? That's my point. I'm going to go to some of you guys here real quick. See if I can look at the names. Earth Keepers. I like physical gold too, not paper. Yeah, buying gold is always going to keep. Well, it's not even the dollar. It used to be attached to the dollar, but not anymore. But still, it rarely ever decreases. It goes up and down, I'm sure, but it's consistent. Let me see what you guys got to say. Hey, Lynn. I said, wow, we all hit the like button. Sister Girl on Films, welcome. Maybe I watched too many spy films, but this felt like something more nefarious and intentional. Sister Girl, come on now. That's what I said. To me, it sounds like a spy. But again, these are questions to ask. Nobody, and this is what gets me about the mainstream media. They're too scared to be called the fake media. It's like, no, bro, you're supposed to ask these questions, and then you'll get the answer. But you're supposed to ask them, because if you got your purse stolen, and what do you call it? The Secret Service was there. Who the hell are they protecting? And if you are a person that's out in the world like a Christy Nome, and you are an official, why are you leaving your purse just willy-nilly anywhere? There's government shit in your purse, government property. You just go. I know people who just have their work badge in their purse that won't leave their purse just anywhere. Not unless they got a friend sitting next to it. How many of y'all leave y'all purse by show of yes or no? I mean, every time I've been out with any woman, friend, family, relationship, whatever, when they're about to go to the bathroom and they don't want to carry their purse, could you watch my purse for me? I've never seen one just get up and bounce without their purse. I'm going to go over here real quick. Can you watch my purse for me? I've never seen, I'm just saying, who does that? Right, Troy, Scott? The real crime is who stole her purse. 100%. Yeah, Lynn, her stolen purse. You never know. She may want the $3,000 and lied about the purse. I don't know, but you would have to have Secret Service back it up. But I don't put nothing past Secret Service. Not since Trump's in office, and I don't know if they get to choose whoever they want around them. But I ain't got nothing against Secret Service. It's just kind of hard to trust under Trump. So was it Soraya? Yeah, there's a lot to investigate. 100%. Troy Scott says the governor has cipher net for classified messages. Yeah, and for classified messages, but those classified messages are foilable, right? And the thing is that if it's not foilable like freedom of information, it's something that government officials can have. But if it's classified, only the classified people can watch it. But they're talking about how to run this government to implement Project 2025. That's a whole different thing because they don't want the government to see it. And it's not classified. It is literally something that they're trying to implement behind the scenes. And that part, that bugs me. There should be answers to that. Just saying said, there's no way I'm leaving my purse unattended. Christy Nome is in her 50s. Come on now. I ain't never seen somebody leave their purse. What's up, Demetrius? Earthkeeper, 100%. If you're not asking the right questions, you got to go. I mean, these are simple questions to ask. It's not like they're just like way off base. I mean, if a purse is gone, I mean, why wouldn't the reporters be asking, did she lose her purse? She didn't mention it. Did she lose her phone too? Any one of her phones? No? Okay. Then you could say her phone, she still had in her hand, her purse. These are the things that have the most information that if were stolen by spies or anything of that nature, those things are the most important. Give a damn about her money. Give a damn about her credit card. You can close this shit down and get your money back. What's the most important thing? And I don't trust this government to tell the truth. I really don't. I wish we could, but we can't. The truth will surface to the light. Eventually it will. But the point, and again, that's the point. They need to be dealing with it and trying to find it. But these questions should be asked already from media. They just float over it. What little information they get, they move on. It's like, I can understand if you ask that when we asked and we got no response. That right there is good. But again, my thing is, if you have a trust issue, which mainstream media does on all sides, you need to record the things you say you did. You need to be like with the mic in the hand and asking that question. Was your phone stolen? Any electronics? Were they stolen? No? Okay. Now you got no. Or you got a I don't know yet. Then you got something that everybody in the United States who watched that news station is saying, maybe it's her phone that was taken, which, you know what I'm saying? So then you got other reporters wanting to find out more about that process until they answer that question. But if you never ask the question on any media forum, then nobody's thinking about it because the news cycle's like this. I promise you they won't be talking about her purse in no time. Was it, oh, we deactivated everything and we're good. And the purse will be a thing of the past. But whomever stole that purse, if they stole any electronics, they got personal information from the government, or at least that back channel, if that's what they used. They may be using a back channel on their own personal phones to get this information. But either way, if it's on their personal phone that they're talking about government issues, that's not good. So those are the answer questions we need to be asking. But anyway, critical thinking is so important. It really is. It really is. I want to thank again those who supported. You can see below how you can support the show as we continue to grow. I want to do more and more things coming up. I want to be able to speak to you guys and have questions asked and stuff like that. I'm trying to expand it. It's just me right now. But as I grow, I'll get people to help me out for sure. We're at, 15,000, trying to get up to 20,000 subscribers. Our members is growing. I appreciate you guys. Much love to you for that. We're going to continue doing what we do, bringing the truth out, facts. That's all I care about, is talking about the facts and truth of things, and asking questions that lead to the facts, holding people's feet to the fire, because I feel like our mainstream media and a lot of people have gotten to the point that they're either afraid of Trump and their people, or they're afraid of them, kind of like throwing it back at them and saying, oh, no, you're the bad guy. No, you're the bad guy. I don't care about none of that shit. You tell me the facts or no facts. And I'm not those people who want to get a shit ton of information out of somebody. if you lie to me, whatever we talking about, we're gonna stop down and cover that lie until we get this shit straight. I ain't gonna float over no lies. I don't want to get 500 questions out of you. I want the facts out of you. And the minute you lie to me, we're gonna talk about that until the fact come out. Give a shit getting another question, another question. It ain't about that. I got all the time in the world to grill somebody over lies. If I got the truth, I'm gonna give it to you. And if I don't, I'm gonna keep asking the right questions until you get it. Because that's all I want. And hopefully other people are like me. Just want the facts. Lynn, almost definitely. I'll let you know what's going on. You got my information. If you don't, let's see. Info is straightfactsnochaser.com. Just hit me up. Hit me up. Info is straight. Oh, I did it. No chaser. And I'll have your information. I'll send it to you. There it is right there for anybody who wants to do it. You can all reach out to me at any time. Ask questions. Tell me about things that I may not know about that I can probably research and find more facts about. Because that's all this is, a community of people who love the facts. And we only have our feelings about the facts. If you just have feelings about lies, fuck them. I don't care about them. We shouldn't care about them. We can care about the person that's going through something, but the reality is if you're sitting here having all these feelings about something that's not truthful, we're wasting time on that. There's some things that are the truth, things that we care about, and we can talk about what we feel about those. But when it comes to lies, fuck them. I don't want to hear it. It's a waste of my time and breath. Tell me the truth. I'm going to debunk your lies and dismiss you, because if you're a person that's so attached to a lie that when the truth comes, you want to ignore it because your attachment to the lie is more important than the actual truth, we don't want you in here. We don't want to even waste our time with you. What's good, D West? We're about to get off, man. It's good to see you, bro. So I want to thank you guys for standing up, being a part of the actual movement of factual information and fucking the feeling stuff. Just deal with the actual facts so that we're all on the same page. Like I said, for members, as I'm getting this thing together, I will be working on a process that we, the people, start to change the world the way we see it. Stop being price gouged. We can control that. Everything that we buy, we can start programs in which people like myself, if we want to be entrepreneurial, can start buying them from China just like they do, but make a promise to the people that we'll never gouge you. You can make a lot of money just by giving people a price that's worth a damn. Not this, oh, I bought it for $1,500. I'm gonna sell it to you for $80,000. That's the Birkin bags. I would never, in my right mind, ever think of doing that. People work too hard for their money, and then people put value. We as a people have to start understanding too. We're putting too much value on program and just a label that it is destroying our lives. And once we start to realize that as long as the product is of quality, which many of these products are that are $20 and $30 coming from Brazil and Korea and China, we don't have to worry about Donald Trump and them and the billionaires. It can be us, the people, that are willing to put our money up individually. You can do your own thing, but I'll set up the program in which we can be able to do it, and then everybody can start joining in and doing it so that we can help each other, and don't worry about this brand crap. I ain't into that anymore. I'm done with it. So if I can get something that's just quality, I don't care about your label. Throw your own label on it once you get it. Who cares? We need to start focusing like that, because it's about time we stop being owned by the wealthy. It's about time we made our own decisions and say, you know what? I'm done. The government doesn't need to tell me that, we're throwing on regulations on this person so that we can have a better country. We can do it. Just determine that we're not going to buy from them anymore. We're only going to buy from people who will do well by us and be transparent. And I'll show you everything about that, members, when I get everything together. I'm still working on it. I'll be working on some of it tonight and a bunch of other things. But just know I'm always working to make it a better place for us to live. As long as God has me here. That's my goal. That's my mission. I want our people, meaning like Americans. I also focus on black stuff too, because black people have been held back for a lot of centuries, and there's some opportunities that I need to help in poor communities that are mostly black, to be able to help give back and give them opportunities and ideas and anything that can help bring up the community so they can buy it back and have quality of life they deserve, because they're not lazy. They work their ass off. They just don't get paid enough. And it's about time people like myself, who have the heart and the guts to be able to do it, determine that, you know what, I don't care how much money I make, when any business I do, I'm going to go back to communities and not just give them a fish. I'm going to teach them how. And that way they can lift their own communities. And to hell with rich people, to hell with capitalism the way it is. The people determine how capitalism runs, not the billionaires. And if the people get fed the fuck up and say, you know what, I'm tired of these rich people ruling us, we can do it our damn selves, then we can change the world to the way we see it. The American dream is not going to happen by the billionaires or the politicians. It's going to happen by the people. So determine what you want, get people together, and make it a reality. All right? Much love to y'all. I appreciate you if you supported me in any way, whether you see it online here, through Cash App, through Venmo, whatever, as well as people who've given me in the room. I use it to actually make this a better program as much as I can, buying things and make it better. I'm working on getting, and I use my own phone, so I'm working on getting a camera, so I got to do that. And I've been using the funds, you guys, to get a better camera, so that I can use my phone when I'm talking to y'all and look at things. So it's, as we grow, things will get better. So trust and believe. I appreciate y'all. Much love to you. And I'll see you guys, as I always say, I'll see you when I see you.